Hi folks, welcome back to the Model 3 Man channel. Here's the statement. Let Elon have whatever he wants. Here's the context. Today, October 6th. Tomorrow, 7th of October, is the Tesla Annual Meeting, at which shareholders weigh in with their concerns, with their questions, and votes are taken on issues that are raised by Tesla and, of course, indirectly by shareholders that ask for things to be put onto the agenda. So, what is Tesla recommending that we give Elon and that we approve? We're going to have a look at that quickly. Those of you who are shareholders may or may not have received the shareholder notification. It's going to be interesting to take a look through some of the items that are on the agenda, to look at the recommendations Tesla's making, and to think about some of the background motivations of why certain proposals are on the table and why Tesla has recommended they be rejected. Of course, pretty early on in Tesla's history, Elon decided that it was worth taking the company public. Why? Well, to get at all of the money that investors would be likely to put into his company. He needed the money for development, he needed the money for manufacturing, for all kinds of legitimate reasons. And of course, the public have the money. Elon needed access to that money. And so he took Tesla public, and of course, the rest is history, from the very, very meager share offering price in those early days to something like $778 or $780 per share. After, of course, the shares were split 5 ways, we've come a long way. But one of the problems of going public with your company is that you have to be answerable to all of the shareholders and the special interests and all the shareholder groups that try to impose certain things on you that you may not want to take on. So let's take a look at what I received in the mail. At the very top it says, "Your vote counts, Tesla Inc. 2021 Annual Meeting. Vote by October the 6th. And then the bottom it says, vote in person at the meeting on October the 7th, which is tomorrow. It's being held at the Tesla Fremont factory, 45500 Fremont Boulevard in California, not yet in Texas." I voted. We're going to take a look at some of the proposals that are on the agenda. We're going to look at Tesla's recommendations for how to vote. And here's my premise. Vote the way Elon tells you. I'm fully aware that many of us have different viewpoints on a lot of things, but here's what I wanted to say. Elon is the reason this company still exists. His gut instincts in the past have typically been proven correct. His determination, persistence, courage, call it foolhardiness if you wish, but all of those things have led to the point that we're at today, where there is this highly successful company called SpaceX and a highly successful company called Tesla, among other companies that he started. But when Elon wants something, it's because he intuitively knows and he feels that this will be best for the company. It'll be best for the product going forward. I'm going to read to you a list of some of the proposals that Elon has recommended to vote for. First of all, election of director, James Murdoch. Tesla recommends voting for it. Election of Kimball Musk. As you know, Kimball is Elon's brother, and the board recommends we vote for that. Tesla proposal for the adoption of amendments to the Certificate of Incorporation to reduce director terms to 2 years. The board recommends we vote for that. Here's another one, a Tesla proposal for the adoption of amendments to the Certificate of Incorporation to eliminate applicable supermajority voting requirements. Well, here the board doesn't recommend. There's no recommendation. In this particular proposal, a recommendation is given. Number 4, a Tesla proposal to ratify the appointment of an independent, registered public accounting firm. Board recommends we vote for that. Sounds like a good thing. Now, there are some proposals that Elon/Tesla recommends we vote against. Let me preface this by saying that Many of these obviously work against the self-interest of Tesla, but many of them, to me, appear to be a backdoor attempt to once again open the Pandora's box of union representation in Tesla. Now, you'll remember, if you have been following this, that some time back, unions tried to unionize Tesla workers, Tesla employees, and it failed. And since that time, there have been a number of attempts to try and go around the back door and to reopen that whole debate and that whole discussion. One of the reasons, of course, that it failed was Tesla offer their employees shares in the company. A stake in the company is part ownership. And obviously, employees that see the potential of Tesla are happy to go with that. And that was one of the reasons why the drive to unionize actually failed back at that time. Let me come back now to the proposal. Stockholder proposal regarding reduction of director terms to 1 year. So these stockholders recommend a director only have 1 year. You notice that just a little earlier, Tesla proposed 2 years. So obviously, the recommendation by Tesla here is against. Another proposal by stockholders, a stockholder proposal regarding additional reporting on diversity and inclusion efforts. Look, they're good things in themselves, diversity, of course. Who wants to discriminate against any particular class or group? Inclusion, of course, people need to be included, and inclusion as a principle is good. But you see, this is not what it seems to be. That implies that Tesla is actually not a diverse company and doesn't work toward inclusivity. In other words, the implication is, bad Tesla, you're not doing what we want you to do. We're going to force on you a requirement to perform additional reporting on all of your efforts to broaden the diversity within the company and to increase inclusivity. The board, no surprise, recommends against. Number 7, stockholder proposal regarding reporting on employee arbitration. In other words, whenever there's an employee where there are differences and disagreements and it has to go to arbitration, this particular group of stockholders are trying to get all of the details of that dispute and that arbitration out in public and have a process of reporting where everyone can read every single arbitration item, every single event. And obviously, Tesla is looking at all of these proposals and saying, nah, that's not as simple and innocent as it appears. There are reasons why they're wanting us to go to additional reporting on diversity and inclusion. Because then, of course, what they can do later is come and accuse us of not reporting sufficient progress in those fields. Number 8, a proposal regarding the assigning of responsibility for strategic oversight of human capital management to an independent board-level committee. In other words, somebody to come and determine whether Tesla is treating its human capital correctly, how are they managing their employees. Now, obviously, the recommendation of this one is vote against it, please. And the final one, where we are given a recommended please vote against, is this one. Stock proposal regarding additional reporting on human rights. These proposals are so transparent and so obvious. By voting against them, we are not saying we don't believe in human rights. We don't believe in diversity and inclusion and in arbitration. We believe in all of those. But we see these attempts for what they are. This is another attempt to come in through the back door through methods that look harmless and innocuous and sound really good and really woke. And Tesla says, we're having none of it. And here's what I say. Let Elon have whatever he wants. He's known how to make a success of the company up to this point. Why the heck would we want to bring in potential troublemakers into his own company and make life difficult for Tesla to get things done? Permission to go on a small rant? You're okay with that? When the 2020 election came around and Joe Biden won the presidency, a lot of people in the EV industry were very, very optimistic that this was only good news for Tesla. Those people who were so hopeful and so optimistic did not, however, reckon with Joe's union affiliations. And here's the problem today, and this is not political in the least. Tesla is being shunned, it's being shut out. The current government in the USA is deliberately ignoring Tesla as they talk about electric vehicles and the adoption of electric vehicles and using electric vehicles in the government fleet. All of those are good things. But Joe Biden is only recognizing companies like Ford and General Motors and other companies that are unionized. He does not mention Tesla. He doesn't include them in his press releases. He doesn't go to the Tesla factory. In fact, no one would know Tesla existed if they were only to listen to the government pronouncements on EVs and the factories that make them. For example, one of the items in the Build Back Better bill that is now being disputed, obviously, in the House and the Senate, one of the provisions allows for, I think it's between $3,000 and $4,000 as a rebate if you purchase an electric car. Wait, I haven't finished yet. If you purchase an electric car made by a factory that has union workers, in other words, a unionized factory. Does Tesla get that $3,000 or $4,000 rebate? Not a bit of it. So there are rebates that apply to all electric vehicles, irrespective of who made them. But they've given an extra rebate, a significant rebate, $3,000 to $4,000, will go to any electric car coming from a company that has unionized workers. That is the most blatant, discriminatory, unfair move I've ever seen a government pull. So those who had hoped that with the Republican regime out of the way and the Democratic EV-friendly regime, Tesla would somehow benefit from that, are going to be holding their breath for a long time. It's not going to happen. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Please jump in the comments below and let me know what you think of this. I just think that this is such a disappointing outcome where all of us in the EV community were expecting that the new government would obviously support EVs and Tesla and all of the companies and not pick favorites. Anyone remember Solyndra? Government choosing favorites is not a good solution for success. Remember, this is not political. I'm looking at how ridiculous it is to eliminate the largest EV manufacturer in the United States, the one with the highest content of US-made parts and components, the one that has been chosen by the public as the best electric car around simply by sales. Tesla is far and away the largest seller of electric vehicles in America, and yet they're being shut out. That's my rant. Let me know in the comments what you feel about this. I think that, look, if you have an opinion and you say that, yeah, union companies should be rewarded and Tesla should be punished, well, put it in the comments. If you feel that this is a ridiculous situation to be in, let me know in the comments below and I will try and respond to each of your comments. In any event, do tune in tomorrow on October the 7th and take a look at the outcome of that annual Tesla meeting. Look at which proposals passed, which failed, see whether Elon gets his way. And again, I end with this. Let Elon have whatever he wants. Thank you so much for listening to this little rant of mine. Thanks for supporting my channel, and do subscribe, do click notification. It's the one thing that can help the channel, is to have additional subscribers signing on all the time, especially clicking notifications so that you know when any of these episodes are being uploaded. That's for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode.